Hello and welcome to the Silver King's War. I'm Michael Sievers, the writer, producer, and creator of this podcast series about my father's Second World War as a B-26 bombardier. Today we continue in the Silver King's writings from Barksdale Field in Shreveport, Louisiana. He has been preparing for his departure and is surprised by a slight delay. Silver King's next letter to his family is written on hotel letterhead. He's writing on Monday, September 4th, 1944, from the Hotel Winecoff in Atlanta. The Winecoff, which is part of the Robert Meyer Hotels Group, is described as absolutely fireproof and providing the European plan with a radio in every room and located near everything and anything that's important in Atlanta on Peachtree Street. Dearest Ones, by this time you probably believe I'm well on my way to places unknown. It's just as much a surprise to find myself here in Atlanta as it will be to you. I've been here since Saturday and am returning to Savannah tomorrow. We've been having a marvelous time on our last fling, and Atlanta is quite the place to have it. I know you're anxious to know the details, so here goes. We arrived at Savannah safe, but with headaches Thursday morning. It was really a wild train ride as we stayed drunk practically all the way. Dad, I think the only time we were sober is when you saw us Wednesday morning. Everyone had a bottle and some had two. Besides that, we had a 6-hour delay in Columbus and took the town over completely. The people there knew the Air Corps had hit town. We were threatened with jail by the police, and the railroad almost refused to let us ride. Our 2 cars were hooked onto a civilian train, and the guys kept trying to go up with the civilians. Believe me, it was a mess. I drank enough to last a long time. We found Savannah very crowded. I never saw so many planes on an airfield, every type and model but the B-26s, and that's why they gave us a 3-day pass. They didn't have room for us nor the time to process us. Processing is the same old routine, only we are issued all our flying equipment. I am due back tomorrow by midnight. We will probably be processed right away, which only takes 2 days. It is a wonderful organization once they get started. I expect to be on my way by Friday. I saw Bill a couple of times before he left. He left Friday for a POE in New Jersey as he is going to England by boat. Nobody is flying over in the B-26s, it seems. That means there are enough planes already over there, so there is no need for any more. So it looks like I'll be taking a boat ride after all. Remember, mum's the word. Dad, it was swell saying goodbye to you. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you, Mother. I was afraid to talk to you and tell you to come down, as you never know who is watching, and I could have gotten into plenty of trouble. It always pays to play safe. I'll write again if I get the chance before I leave the country. If not, I'll send you a cable when I arrive at my destination. Take good care of yourselves, and don't worry about me. The war will be over soon. I'll probably never even see any action. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. The Silver King's Atlanta excursion was a nice diversion, as you can tell from his 5-page letter. The guys had a good time, but they were also getting anxious. thinking about processing when they'd be leaving and exactly how. Interestingly, for the king, he learned that he was probably going to ride a ship over the ocean. And he did, as it turned out. He would ride the Queen Mary. And now, finally, the Silver King is on his way. He has left Barksdale and moved on from Atlanta and Savannah in Georgia. And he sends his parents a brief telegram dated September 10th, 1944, from New York, New York, to Milton Silverfield at 3822 9th Court, South Birmingham, Alabama. In all caps, please deposit $150 to my checking account immediately. Stan. And now we have a glimpse into the king's activities, and he probably has been writing a few checks and needs to cover them right now. A good guess is that the guys were gambling and he was winning and losing and didn't have much cash in his khakis. And the excitement builds as they have reached the city and they're waiting to depart. Stanley is writing on a new letterhead for him. United States Army, gold and embossed, and it's a Thursday, September 14th, 1944. Dearest Ones. There isn't much to tell other than I'm still in the States somewhere on the East Coast. I have no idea how long it will be before I leave. It isn't bad here, except right now I'm restricted to the post when I should be in town. I've been out every night having a swell time until I came in late on pass and was restricted. You should have my APO number, as it was supposed to have been mailed to you from Savannah. I cashed a check for $100 as money was short. I'm fine and hope you're well. Take care of yourselves. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. Well, our hero has good news. He's been having fun in New York City, and he came home late one night and got restricted. But he'll be back in action soon, and he writes to his family on Monday, September 18th, 1944. Dearest Ones, received both of your very sweet letters, and as always, so happy to hear from you. I'm glad you're well and are having so much company for the holidays. I do wish I could be there also. I also received a sweet letter from Leona saying all were fine. There really isn't much I can write except I'm fine and waiting anxiously to be shipped. The restriction was finally lifted as once again we've been to town and having a swell time. I would like to tell you the things I've done and seen, but the censor wouldn't approve. Just take my word for it. I can't complain about my last nights in the States. I've enclosed the card and hope this will settle it all. Thanks so much for your trouble. We'll write again soon. Love to all. Stan. As our hero, the Silver King, is preparing to board the Queen Mary for his ride over the Atlantic Ocean to the European Theater of Operations, we have reached the end of Part 3 of the Barksdale Letters. The king is going to war. His port of embarkation will be Brooklyn. As we have followed the king through all of his training in North America, I think that he would be happy to know that my wife Kelly and I, to honor him, rode the Queen Mary II from Brooklyn to England in October of 2018. We celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary and my 70th birthday. and you are listening to the Silver King's War.